Hi, welcome back to His and Her Homestead. Today I wanted to make a video about how to winter sow. So winter sowing is basically when you plant your seeds in the wintertime and you put them out in your garden or your yard or whatever and just let them sit all winter, and they get rained on and frozen and thawed and back and forth until they finally sprout. And then when they sprout, eventually, once you get your little seedlings, you can transplant them to wherever you want. So this is our first year doing it, but I've heard great success stories. So basically what you do, you take a milk jug or any other clear plastic container and you create mini greenhouses out of them. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you'll need is your plastic container. You don't need the lid. You'll need a knife or scissors to cut your holes, a Sharpie for labeling, your seeds obviously, which I got mine from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, which is an awesome seed company. They're Christian, they are non-Monsanto, mostly heirloom, just a really great company. I use popsicle sticks for labeling, but you can use, a lot of people just write on the duct tape, but you might have to redo that after time because it fades. You'll need duct tape, dirt, compost, water. I think that's it. So I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to try to film this by myself since the hubby's at work. So we'll see. Hopefully it all gets on the screen. So basically you're going to take your jug, clean it out with some hot soapy water. Get rid of the lid because you don't really need it. And there's a bees buzzing around already. It's still June, or I guess it's February now, but I use a knife for the bottom because it's easier. And you just stab your holes. Careful not to stab yourself. Bubba, can you go play with the dog for a minute? And then you're going to cut all the way around it. Not all the way, you leave a little bit to make kind of like a flap. I'll show you. About halfway to 2/3 up the jug on the top. Sorry about that. You just cut all the way around. There's no need to be perfect really because it's not that big of a deal. No one's going to see these but you. Well, and the rest of whoever is on YouTube, I guess. But, so yeah, you cut it like that. You have just a flap open where you can put dirt in it. Okay, so then you take your dirt, pour your dirt in. I mix in compost, which we just use our rabbit pellets because rabbit pellets are a cold compost. So they don't get hot and burn your roots or anything. So I just mix our rabbit pellets just right into it. But you can use whatever compost or fertilizer or whatever you want for starting your seeds. So yeah, so you'll do that. You'll fill it up to about 2 to 3 inches up the side. And then you will water it thoroughly and then let it drain. You don't want to stick your seeds just straight into water. So you'll put your dirt in, your compost in, and water it. And I let them sit just for couple hours or so until they are still wet but not soaking wet. So here's one that I did earlier and it's still wet but it's not just full of water. And then you're going to plant in it. So you'll just follow your directions on the back of your seed packet to plant, the depth and all that stuff. A lot of people will just pour their whole seed packet in one container because they've been doing this for years and they trust it. This is my first year doing it, so I probably won't do that. So you'll just put your seeds in there. You'll take a popsicle stick and label it with what it is and the date. If you're growing multiple varieties, you should probably put the variety on there too. Stick it in there, like so. And then you will close it, and you'll take your duct tape, and you'll duct tape all the way around the outside of this. And when you're done, it should look like this. I actually put a popsicle stick on the outside too, just so that I could see it more easily. And so it looks like this. It's just duct taped all the way around. It's labeled and dated. And these were ones that I planted a couple weeks ago. Look down in there, maybe, and see the sprouts. The kale's doing really good. Let me show you. So there's the sprouts. And So there's lots of, this is called the bulk seed method. So when you want to transplant it, a lot of people will just do where they cut it into big chunks and just transplant like a whole chunk into the ground, and then you will, pull out your weakest ones when they get a little bit bigger. Or some people will put the whole thing in water and separate them out really carefully and then individually plant them, which is probably what I'll try to do with most of it, just so that I get more out of it. But yep, that's it. So that's called winter sowing, and I will let you know how they go this year. It's our first year doing it, and so far the ones we've done have looked awesome. So yeah, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions or how you do things. Comment, subscribe, you know the drill.